Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Andy and welcome to another Grave Encounters Paranormal video. Today I would like to try something different. This is hopefully the beginning of a new series that I would like to start on this channel. So if you like what I'm doing here and you'd like to see more, please feel free to let me know down in the comments. And also, at the end of the video, I have a very special announcement to make, so please stay tuned until the end. So with that said, let's get into the video. Today, I would like to talk to you all about spirit communication and the tools used for spirit communication, as well as how to use each piece correctly and how each piece works in the paranormal. So I would first off like to talk about how spirit communication should be conducted. Okay, first and foremost, not only in spirit communication but also in paranormal investigation in general, it is very, very, very paramount and important that you stay safe. Okay? Safety is absolutely the number one concern and priority in anything that you do. So I believe that spirit communication is all about intention and the energy that you put out. So you want to always make sure, first and foremost, that you are very energetic. Your energy has to be very high. Always make sure that you are very rested. So it's good to sleep before an investigation, so that you do have very high energy. And also the reason for this is because a lot of times spirits will tend to take energy from things such as your batteries, the atmosphere, your equipment in general, and also they will take energy from you. Of course, you can ask them not to, but there are some spirits out there that don't really listen to that, so they're going to try and draw energy from you, and this can make you very drained, very tired. It can also make you very ill if you go into an investigation with low energy. So definitely, please try not to do that. It can be very, very dangerous. You could end up with an illness that you definitely don't want. I've heard of, I don't know if there's any truth in it per se, but I have heard of cases where people have been so drained by a spirit that, you know, they end up coming out of an investigation with somehow with cancer. You know, very serious illnesses. So yeah, you want to be very, very careful when it comes to that. So, you know, you want to be very energetic. You also want to stay very positive. Okay, negative draws negative. So if you go into an investigation feeling moody and feeling very negative, or you know, you're just feeling depressed or down, you know, you're going to draw that type of energy to you. Okay, so you don't want to go into an investigation feeling that kind of thing. So it's always good to stay positive. Make sure that you when you go on investigations, that you bring plenty of snacks, plenty to drink. Keep that energy up, keep it really high, so that way you're not drained as easily. And also with your moods, you want to keep yourself mentally happy. Make sure that you're not going to be easily persuaded by spirit, because they do tend to tap into your emotions. So you want to make sure that you're just very safe in these ways, because it is very common for spirits to do things like that, especially negative ones. And so a lot of times also it can happen with, like, say, something like a suicide victim or something like that. A lot of times they'll try to tap into your emotions, and they'll try to show you what they felt in life, and what drew them to, so a lot of times you will feel emotions that are not yours. So you want to be very careful with that and make sure that that doesn't happen, because it can be very draining, and it can feel very, very negative, and you don't want that. You don't want anything negative in your life when you're doing this. So with that said, I do have a few tools here I'd like to show you. Now, I'm not a very high-tech investigator, so I do have very basic equipment, but I do actually want to continue on with this, as I tend to grow my arsenal of equipment here. So with that said, let's get into some of the equipment. So one of the most basic pieces, of course, nowadays is cell phones. Now this is just my old Galaxy S6 phone, and as you can see, it's very broken and not working anymore, not in service. But cell phones have been known to catch paranormal activity. You can use it to communicate. Of course, you have to wait until you can review the footage to see what you've caught, but there are many, many amazing apps out there for EVPs, which is electronic voice phenomenon. It is the ability, spirits do have the ability to manipulate magnetic frequencies and things like that. So the theory is that they can use this energy to tap into electrical devices such as cell phones and a few of the other devices I'm about to show you. But with cell phones, you can either catch EVPs through a recording app, or your camera in general. Like, you could be recording, say, a birthday party or something, and you happen to catch a voice in the background that doesn't belong to anybody who was at the party. That's very likely with cell phones. So cell phones do come in handy when it comes to spirit communication and also ghost hunting in general. They can be very useful tools. And another is, of course, the handy dandy camcorder. Now this one has black and white night vision, 16 times zoom. I do not have an IR light for it yet. I really want one, but I just don't have one yet. So the camera itself is all I've got. I don't even have an external microphone as of yet. But yeah, they can also come through on your cameras in much the same way as cell phones. You could be, recording something entirely different from the paranormal and end up catching a voice. Um, so yeah, they do tend to come through on recorders quite a bit. And I also have this. This is a digital handheld recorder. This particular one has a very, very powerful microphone. This thing will pick up the slightest sound from quite far. I could put this in the next room and it'll pick up the rustling of my clothing. So yeah, I mean, you got to be very careful when using these because they will pick up the smallest of sounds. But they do come in handy big time. If you're a beginner, you might want to start off with just a basic recorder that's not so powerful because when you're just starting out, it's really hard to distinguish regular sounds from EVPs because a lot of times, like even the rustling of clothing, as I mentioned, can sound like an EVP. It can come through sounding like a voice. So you want to be very careful when using these. But there are two techniques that I like to use with this. One of them is to press record and just simply lay it down on a surface and just walk away from it, or roll away. In my case, I am in a wheelchair. Just roll away from it and let it record and catch what it may. Another way is to just hold it in your hand, hit record, and ask questions. Now, I've been told to wait 10 to 20 seconds between each question to give it plenty of time, to give, the spirits plenty of time to respond. But I like to wait 30 seconds to a minute. I like to wait 30 seconds to a minute because a lot of times when I'm asking questions, I will get a response that is delayed. So 10 to 20 seconds is not long enough in my opinion. A lot of times I will get responses while I'm asking the next question. So my voice will be covering up that response, but I will notice that it's definitely there. And I'll thought, dang it, why didn't I wait longer? So 30 seconds to a minute, 30 minutes, wow. 30 seconds to a minute should be plenty long enough. So that's, the other technique I like to use. And so there's that. And then we have the handy dandy spirit box. Now, everybody knows the spirit box because the spirit box is by far one of the most popular tools to date. And that's because it's much like the recorder that I just showed you, except it uses white noise and radio waves to basically generate EVPs, and you hear them in real time. So this is a very cool device, and I just got it this Christmas. Every piece of my equipment I got really cheap off of Amazon. The best time to buy is Christmas because otherwise a lot of it can be very expensive. So you want to definitely buy like during a holiday sale. Trust me. Um, I got most of my equipment for around $20 a pop. So when usually they're close to $100 a pop. So you might want to definitely wait for a holiday sale. Um, but yeah, most of my stuff does come from Amazon. Um, but with the spirit box, this is the SB7, by the way. There are many different types of spirit boxes out there. Um, this one, like I said, it generates like a white noise. It generates like radio static. And what this is it's generally a broken radio. And what it'll do is it'll sweep through several different radio stations at once. Now you can adjust how quickly it does that. You can adjust how it does it, whether you do it forward or in reverse. I like to choose reverse because it's more likely to catch EVPs that way, because a lot of times, like when you do it in reverse, the radio stations will come through in reverse. Okay, and that way you won't understand it. Um, and the EVPs that come through, you will understand. So you'll definitely know when an EVP comes through when you go and you cycle through in reverse. Um, so I like to use it much better. It also has AM and FM frequencies. Um, I like to use FM. Some people like to use AM, but I find FM works better. Um, and you can also choose like the speed of rate that um, that it sweeps. So I like to have it set to 100. Um, a lot of people choose 150, but I like 100. Um, it just comes through a lot more clear for me. So yeah, and it also has an antenna to help it pick up the frequencies better, but it's not necessary, so I usually keep it down. Um, and also, I have this external speaker that I got for my spirit box. When using the spirit box, it is recommended that you use an external speaker, because the spirit box by itself, the volume doesn't go very high. So you want an external speaker so that you can definitely hear what's coming through. This particular one has Bluetooth, so I can connect it with my phone. I can connect it with any Bluetooth device and record what it is that I'm capturing through the spirit box. So this is a very good speaker. And so another piece of equipment that I like to use for communication is the K2 meter, or also known as an EMF meter. The K2 is very sensitive. It will pick up on any device that uses electromagnetic frequency, such as my phone. See how I get closer to my phone and those lights go off? That is because it's picking up the frequency of my phone. It's picking up the power that my phone is giving off. And so you want to be very careful about these. These will even pick up other people. So you want to be sure to not hold it very close to yourself or to others when using it. You want to be very careful not to hold it next to a cell phone or another EMF detector, or a spirit box, or a camcorder, or anything like that. Okay, anything that requires battery or electricity, you don't want it anywhere near because you will get a false reading. In fact, it's very likely you'll get a false reading on just about any one of these devices. There is no foolproof device when it comes to the paranormal. Okay, the paranormal is 100% experimental, so there's no such thing as a perfect device. I I have heard that, I've heard a paranormal investigator out there who used a K2 meter and said that if this thing goes off, it guarantees that there's a ghost. That's not true. That's not true. It's not right. Um, these things will go off at just about anything. Even static electricity will make it go off. So they're very, very sensitive. And they do get false readings. In fact, 9 times out of 10, they will get a false reading. So you have to be very careful, and you have to know for sure that there's nothing around that is making it go off. Okay? Now, I can see the lights are going off right now, and I think that may still be my cell phone. If not, I think it's myself, because I am holding it awful close to myself right now. Okay, no, I think that's definitely my cell phone. Okay, so yeah, so these will get false readings very easily. And so yeah, that's pretty much it for my equipment. And like I said, always keep yourself protected. Make sure your energies are high. Make sure you're positive. Make sure that you're happy, both physically and emotionally, as well as mentally. You want to make sure that you're in good spirits. No pun intended. So yeah, and get plenty of rest before you go out on investigations. It's very, very important. I've seen so many of these YouTube thrill seekers. They go out, and I just shake my head because they look so tired. They go on these investigations, like just after work, and you can see it like in their face. They're just drained, and they no, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. That is so dangerous. I mean, anything can attach to you that way. Okay, it's very important to keep yourself protected because of attachment, and also because of, believe it or not, because of something that might try to take you over. Now, that's another thing I want to talk about too, because in terms of evil spirits or demonic spirits, they don't generally take over the body as people believe that they do. They're actually more like parasites of the mind. They will control your mind, and they will try to control your emotions through your mind. And that's how they take you over. They tend to want to make you feel alone. They want to make you feel depressed. They want to make you feel oppressed. They want you to feel down. And they want to just destroy everything that makes you happy. They want to keep people from you. And so it's very, very important to not let anything attach to you, especially something negative. because it can be very, very bad. Um, the intentions of anything negative is simply to destroy. Okay? They want to destroy everything in their path, and they will destroy you eventually. Um, they they want you to feel like it's the end of the world, and a lot of times it ends very sadly, if you know what I mean. It can end in death. And so you want to make sure that you're very well protected and very well in high spirits and very well energized, so that way that doesn't happen. Um, so that's why it's important. You want to definitely keep yourself safe from any sort of attachments, um, because they can and will follow you home as well if you're not careful. So something very important is that when you're doing spirit communication, the one thing you definitely want to do is you want to say first and foremost that if the spirits that you're communicating with are not of good intention and are not of love and light, then you want to tell them that they are not welcome. Okay? And you want to do that first thing before you even start your EVP session or your spirit box session or whatever. Before you even get into an investigation, you want to make sure that you're only communicating with positive spirits. Okay? Because they won't drain you as much. Some will. Some will if they're high energy also, but that's very rare. So you want to definitely make sure by putting your foot down, you want to be not really aggressive, but you want to make your point that, you only want to communicate with positive spirits. And therefore, if they're not of love and light and they're not positive and they're not of good intention, then they need to leave. So you definitely want to stay safe in that way. You definitely want to just keep yourself very safe. Okay, it's very important. It's the most important part of anything. Safety always comes first. And so with that, I think that's pretty much all I have for you today, except for my announcement. Okay, I told you all at the end of the video, I do have a very important announcement. And that is that I know I said in my intro video that I would not be doing live videos or live streams on YouTube. And I've kind of sort of had a change of heart. Okay, because I have found a way to live stream on YouTube without donations. I don't need the money, so I will not be doing donations. So I will be doing live streams though, and I would very much like to do some live investigations as well as some live spirit box sessions and things like that. So I think it's going to be very cool. Plus, I will also be hopefully having some special guests or a special guest coming through for these live streams to join me on investigations and things like that. So, yeah, so look forward to that. That will be coming hopefully in the very near future. Sorry, I've got an itch on my arm. So, yeah, so we've got that to look forward to. And that is about all for today. So, with that said, I do hope that you've enjoyed this. I do hope that you want to see more. And like I said, if you do or if you don't, please let me know down below in the comments. But please be kind, be very respectful of myself and others. Um, and so, yeah, I will definitely catch you all in the next video. All right. Thank you all for watching, and thank you all so much for the new subscribers. Thank you for being here. I have a lot of awesome and great content coming for you all. So look forward to that, and I will catch you all later. Bye.